Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 8 of Multiblock Madness, where if I keep this up, I'm going to get dizzy, so I'm going to step off. This loop of conveyor belts is how I've been leveling up my Astral Sorcery points, and in fact I'm at level 99 and 2/3 or so. So 100's a max, but I figured I'll try to get level 100 on camera. Since the end of last episode, it's probably been about hour and a half, 2 hours doing this. Thankfully, tabbed out the vast majority of the time, otherwise I would actually get sick. But yeah, it turns out that just standing on a conveyor belt AFK, letting it do loops for you, is at least as fast as using the destruction gadget to destroy terrain, and has the upside of you can be AFK for 99% of it. Astral Sorcery does have a little thing in there where if you haven't given it input for more than about 5 minutes, it stops giving you EXP. So this every minute or every 5 minutes or so, I need to tab in and tap, W or something to get my EXP. Anyways, I put the points in, they do things. We have 100 points, so they do a lot of things. The big thing though is stacking perk experience gain with perk effectiveness. This is actually the final amount with accounting for perk effectiveness, but it results in a lot of experience. A couple other things, I took some damage perks, so I can summon a target dummy and kill the target dummy. Yeah, that's a lot of damage, 55 damage. I got a zappy perk. It's gradually killed all of my sheep, so now I have no more sheep. It's killed my earth or my silkworm, but whoops. Anyways, that is where we stand now. So let's take a quick look at actually what all our perk effects are. Extra enchantments from the amulet. When we get to the Astral Sorcery amulet, that'll be huge. A lot of attack speed, so we can attack quickly. Woohoo. What else is there? We have maxed out we just barely not maxed dodge chance. A lot more damage, a lot of perk effectiveness, maxed out resistances, maxed out life leeching, some amount of life recovery. I actually don't know what this is. I think that is when you heal, you just heal faster. Lots of max life, extra melee damage, extra mining speed, lots of extra mining speed, quite a bit of extra movement speed, extra EXP, a lot of extra projectile damage, and boatloads of reach. Let's see. We can... That's our reach. We can open that from here. Which I guess is cool. It might end up being a little annoying once you have too much reach. I don't know. But anyways, that's just a recap of what all our Astral Sorcery perks are at the moment. However, right now, at the moment, we also have a lot of perks that do literally nothing. We're basically maxed on EXP. When we are maxed on EXP, all these perk experience ones don't do anything. And we have a lot of perk experience perks. Additionally, I didn't really optimize this tree for effect, right? I optimized it for basically perk experience, which means there's a bunch of perks in here, like 3% perk experience. I don't really need this perk. There's one perk that's locked for now. I believe it's this one. It's a Gelu focus perk. I don't actually know where on the tree it is. It's either this one or... No, it has to be that one. That's the only one I don't know about in this area. This trait says 3% perk experience or perk effect per point spent, but you cannot gain perk effect from any other sources. So like this is 15% perk effect, right? But that's all the perk does. If we have this perk, which is locked, we will get effectively, we have somewhere around 100 skill points. We have a little bit over because this gives a few bonus points. This one gives a few bonus, basically each of these give like 3 bonus points or something. But yeah, we have like 100 to 110 points. That means that if we get this perk right here, we would get perk effectiveness of perks will be about the same number, even greater than this, and we get to spend all our points actually doing things, and not, well, as much as possible doing things, not picking up these filler effectiveness of perk traits. Some of them are unavoidable because like you have to get it to get to the stuff beyond it, but we can be far more efficient with our tree. However, in order to really take advantage of that, we need a respec, and in order to respec, we need a what are these stars? The irradiant. star. The shifting star can reset your perks, but it also gets rid of all your experience in the process. So our 99 levels goes back to 0. That's not exactly good. Instead, I want to reset it to with one of these. However, these require, they require the iridescent altar to do. So I guess that will be our next major goal. There's a bit in here. We need celestial crystals, crystallized obsidian, resonating gems, empowered stuff. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but let's try to work towards that in order to get to this altar. So this is a tier 4 altar effectively. We need the celestial altar, which is a tier 3 altar. Right now we have the tier 2 altar. So to make this, we need energetic silver is a big thing in here that we don't have. I'm actually going to get started with something that's not quite directly on this line, but that's the process of growing celestial crystals, because it takes a long time. So there's this recipe shown in here, but that's not exactly the let's call it the intended way. I really hope that keeps fluids. Good. That's not exactly the intended way to grow crystals. So what we're going to do is set up a crystal growing farm. Make that work, I'm going to need some stardust and some of our rock crystals. So let me see how much stardust I have. I have 4 ingots. Let's get a little bit more. Make more star metal. I just link this. Oh wow, it's really quick. 12 of those, and then it needs line of sight. So this is just a basic rock crystal. Dang. That process is a lot faster than I expected. But anyways, this will transform these blocks from orichalcum into star metal. And I kind of expected this process to take a couple minutes, not a couple of seconds. But no complaints here, I guess. Let it all transform, I'll harvest it up. We can automate this later, but we don't need a tremendous amount of star metal for now. So I think we'll just do it manually for the time being. We have to turn our star metal ore into star dust. So whoopsies, there's a couple different ways to do so, but I find the easiest is just to grindstone it, because it also doubles it in the process. It has a high chance to double it. If we want to guarantee doubling it, I could put it through the high oven, but then I get ingots out or blocks, and then I have to grind the ingots into dust anyway. So I figure this has slightly less yield, but it saves time, and time is more valuable than yield. Anyways, 16 is probably a good enough starting point. Once this one's done, once this one's done, we can start growing crystals. What I need to do is, let's get some materials in the crystals first. The ingredients then are a bunch of rock crystals and the stardust. Throw one of each into each pile or each puddle of liquid starlight. And then you'll know it's working when these blue particles are coming out. If you're getting white particles like that, that means you forgot to throw the stardust in. You definitely need both. The stats on your rock crystals don't matter for this step, so just grab whatever rock crystals you want. You do get one perfect statted rock crystal as a quest reward earlier on. Make sure you don't use that one here. You don't really need that perfect statted rock crystal for anything else, but it does seem wasteful to use it when, on something like this where stats literally don't matter. Anyways, if I counted right, I should have exactly 20 pods to grow my 20 crystals out of. After a little while, they become a celestial crystal cluster, and then that's when you know that they're growing. So at this point, we just have to leave it be. It'll take it a little while for it to do its thing, but it'll eventually do its thing. While those grow, let's work our way down towards the arc furnace, because we need the arc furnace to make the higher tier alloys, including energetic silver. So we have to make a sealing sigil. This has a use in Astral Sorcery to turn off perk effects if you don't want them. Some have negative effects, but gate positive ones, like 10% less projectile damage leads to a more projectile damage one. You can use it to seal the lower tier ones. Or some have situational effects you might want off sometimes. But we're not going to use it for that. We're going to use it as a portal to the Twilight Forest. So let's make our portal right here. And all right, we needed to surround it with flowers, don't we? Let me go get some. We need 8 different 8 flowers total. and some water. I don't think we actually have to do much in the Twilight Forest. We just have to gain access to it for the quest. There we go. Put the fire out. Oh, I ruined the portal. All right, then let's make another sealing sigil, I guess. Let's try that again. This time I'm just gonna let the fires burn out. Maybe. Yeah, as long as my house doesn't catch fire, I'm not gonna risk breaking the portal. I can live without these flowers. Anyways, I'm kind of sick of getting assaulted by spiders all the time. Oh, that's gonna burn my house. That's all right. Good. We didn't lose the portal. I can jump through there now to get to the Twilight Forest when we need to. But we were given the Naga scale from the quest reward from our token, whatever. So I don't think we actually have to do that this very moment. But anyways, I'm kind of sick of being assaulted by spiders and other mobs at night. So let's set up a ritual to make this area not spawn mobs. Most astral sorcery rituals have their potency tied to the effect or to the quality of the crystal you make it. That's whatever. Potency is tied to. Dang it! I have too much mining speed, so everything just breaks. But yeah, most astral sorcery rituals have their potency tied to the quality of your rock crystal, but I have no decent rock crystals right now. However, the one that makes it peaceful in an area, or makes it not spawn hostile mobs in an area, does not have its potency tied to crystal quality. So we can make do with one of our crappy crystals. And that one is, I believe, Lucernia? Constellations. May inhibit enemies from arising. Yes, that's what I want. So I'm going to attune any rock crystal to that constellation. That's the one I literally just put away will do. Again, stats do not matter in the slightest. But tune a rock crystal, just set your altar to that constellation, and then throw the rock crystal on it, let it do its thing. While that crafts, we also need to make a ritual altar, or ritual pedestal. This looks like the standard astral sorcery recipe to me. So let's make a couple of these. There's definitely, I'm going to want a couple different ritual effects. So in the spirit of batch crafting, let's make maybe like 4 ritual altars. Those are just crafted here on the Starlight crafting table. Let's speed it up. Ah, dang it, sped it up too much. Now I have to wait for the timer to run down. I don't think if I break it and replace it, it remains sped up, right? I think. Let's try. Yeah, because when you speed it up, it drains its starlight. Just if you see, we are like the tiniest bit short. Alas. In addition to the ritual pedestals, we'll need some number of these lenses. So how do I make this? Throw wood into starlight. I can do that. I think this makes infused wood. Doesn't even use up the starlight, so it's basically free. When crafting these lenses, the quality of your rock crystal usually matters. However, in this case, it doesn't, because it's a little hard to describe. The quality of the stats on your crystal determine how many lenses you get, as well as how lossy the lenses are. In this case, I don't really care about how lossy my lenses are. I just care that they exist. So, as a result, stats don't matter. Let's keep it next time. So, because I used once, I think size might matter. That affects how many you get. But the other stats, like this one is a larger crystal, right, with very low purity and cutting. Normally that'd make for a terrible lens. But because it has a moderately decent size, I think we might actually get decent yield here. So let's see how many we get out of this. Out of 179, we got 2. I need 5 total, so I'm hoping to get 3. Would be nice. Hey, perfect. Now we just have to set up the actual ritual pedestal. For that, there should hopefully be a capsule for it. There is. Ritual pedestal, alright, and then let's fill it up. We need marble bricks and 20 marble arches, which we'll have to chisel. Chisel. I have marble in there already. Arch, and let's get a few extra arches. just for good measure. All right. Oh, needed some plain marble as well. So left click to fill it, and then we can place this just about anywhere. Put it right here. The ritual effect is centered on it, but the radius is so huge that it doesn't matter. Place that in there, and then place an attuned rock crystal in it. As long as it can see the sky, this alone will start providing or preventing mob spawns in a radius that is pretty big. So Acid Sorcery, Ritual Effects, Lucerna is 64 block range. So in a 64 block range, no mobs will spawn here. That's large, but it's not huge. What we want, though, is to make it huge. To do so, I need the lenses and my linking tool. So when we look at this, it should put out a beam of light in one of these directions. I can't see it. Maybe, let me read the book. Maybe this only happens if you use a celestial crystal and not a rock crystal as the focus. I don't think I've ever, do you not zap me? It'll kill itself. I don't think I've ever done rituals with rock crystals before. And no, that's not it. Ritual acceleration. Alright, he's not going to kill himself zapping me, apparently. Incredibly rude of you. No, he did. Oh, right. In order for this system to work, we actually need floating crystals or collector crystals that need, but these require the tier 3 altar. So I guess we only get 64 block radius of no mob spawns. That's probably enough to keep most mobs off my butt at night, but not quite enough. Still, that's the best we can do for now, so we accept what we're given. While we're doing that, a lot of our celestial crystals have finished growing. You'll know they're done when their metadata is 4. If you look at the right side, stage is 4. Also when they give off these little white particles. So I think when you harvest it, the yield is affected by fortune. So I'm going to use my fortune 10 pickaxe. And bam. Fortune just determines the chance that you get more than 1 starlight back. And is that one fully grown? Yeah. So normally this process takes like 30 minutes average, but I feel like it's only been 10 and they're all done. So maybe this is sped up in this pack, or I mean, I guess that's just about the only reasonable explanation, right? So I'm going to harvest all of these. What I'm after is, ooh, there's a good one. I'm after a celestial crystal that has very high purity, as in as close to 100% as possible. So 95's pretty good. Oopsies. But ideally we get an actual 100% one. All the crystals I grew, one had 93, one had 95, everything else was lower. So the lower purity ones, I'm just gonna set aside and probably never touch them, except in cases where we need a celestial crystal, but the stats don't matter. Like, I think crafting this required a celestial crystal, but the stats on it literally don't matter. So, yeah. Anyways, now I want to grow these to try to get their stats to perfect. So a perfect celestial crystal is 900 size, 100 purity, 100 cutting. These that we currently have some amount of size, high 90s purity, and some amount of cutting. Size and cutting are the easiest stats to improve. Each time you throw it into a puddle of liquid starlight, it'll do the things where it absorbs the starlight and improves its stats. So its size will go up until it reaches 900. Well, every time it absorbs starlight, its size will go up until it reaches 900. However, if the size is 900 and it absorbs starlight, then there's a chance that it will fracture. And when that happens, you'll get 2 crystals out of it, at least one of which, I believe exactly one of which, will have higher purity than the first. That's why purity is the hardest level. Each time you get a crystal to max and then it splits, you increase purity slightly, like 3 to 5%-ish. So anyways, we're going to do that. If you already have a max purity crystal, then it just splits into 2 crystals, and then you have 2 max purity crystals. Go in there. There we go. So what I just have is a bunch of starlight in a tank that gets distributed between a bunch of fluid placers, and I have 10 total for now, so we can run this process up to 10 times in parallel. In total, I expect we'll need, you know, a dozen-ish max statted crystals throughout the playthrough. So it's one of those things where it's complicated enough that you kind of want something to help you out so you're not doing it all by hand, but you don't need so much that you need full-blown automation, right? Just like running through these cycles by hand. Basically, each time it splits into two, I have to do a little bit of manual work to take one of the two and put it into a new pod. But anyways, we saw there that one just absorbed its starlight, and presumably its size went up from what it was before. All right, so anyways, we're gonna run this for a bit. I'm gonna periodically come back and service this, and that will begin the process of making our max stat crystals for us. So with that done, let's continue. This is easy. By the way, this process here is the slowest part of crystal growth, well, of getting through astral sorcery, is your crystal growing, because it takes a very, very, very long time to go from imperfect crystals up to max size, max purity crystals. All right, anyways, enough of my mumbling. Next thing we have to do is to make light engineering blocks. What is this for? Fermenter, squeezer, and crusher, I guess. All right. What in here do we... So I need... What tier blood orb is this? Weak was fine. So I just need a bunch of ardite. I suspect ardite comes from the nether, right? I'm not sure if I found any yet. Now we can go mine some real quick. Ardite. Nope. But ardite ore... It generates in the lower half of the nether. Alright, let's go clean up our inventory and go mining. That there looks like an ardite vein. And I think it is. Yep. So what else is here? Energized glowstone and pyrite. Alright, well. There's a lot of ardite in one vein. Oopsies. 27. Not bad. Don't worry, I'm immune to lava. Lava can't hurt me. These engineering blocks are actually pretty expensive just because they use a whole lot of stuff. None of this is stuff that I'm particularly lacking, but it's a bunch of steps to make it. I have to make plates, I have to hammer the ingot, yada yada yada. But how many does it want? Just one? I'm gonna batch craft these a bit. There we go. Sure, how about 21? That's a good number. So I think eventually I need all three of these machines, right? Immediately I want a crusher and a squeezer. And then I'm going to want a fermenter eventually. So these are empty capsules anyways. It doesn't really matter which one we claim. All right, I'm going to need a bit more power to run these. These are, by default, 1,000-ish RF a tick machines. I don't know if they're... What's the mod called? Immersive Engineering. I don't know if they're changed a little bit in this pack, but I guess I'm not allowed to look at it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to need more power than our Ember thing can currently put out. So let's look at our power options at this stage. We have water wheels. So effectively, it looks like it's water wheels, oil, or diesel. Diesel takes a lot of steel. It's not a lot of steel. Okay, let's do diesel. Well, I'm going to need a fermenter and a squeezer to make diesel. Setting up the squeezer and fermenter normally take quite a few... Well, you have to figure out where they go and, you know, place all the blocks and yada, yada, yada. But with the help of the modules, whoopsies, I want to pick that up. I want to make sure they're facing the right way. We should be able to just drop everything down facing the right direction. So first we need, is this rewards be a melon? I'll take my melon as a reward. All right, so let's start with the squeezer, because I think that's the one that's easier to use. This has, which side is the input? I assume the fluid pipe is the output. So let's, how do I even rotate this thing? Left click to rotate. There we go. We'll have you then, nope. I want the two outputs facing each other. I think that'll do. Let's, oopsies. Form both of these. After I click on to format. There we go. And what about you? All right. So the squeezer takes seeds of some sort, and I think it will accept melons, and turns it into bio. Oh boy, I don't remember the exact detail. Squeezer takes. I'm gonna look this up. Here we go. A squeezer takes seeds of any sort and turns them into plant oil. So melons are great because melon seeds, each melon block yields 9 melon seeds. So one garden close worth of melons is probably enough. On the other hand, the fermenter takes plants and turns them into plant oil. Turns it into ethanol. For this, once again, melons are a great deal because for each melon you grow, you get 9. So I need a system that will grow melons and turn them into the individual melon plants. I believe a compacting drawer will happily do that for me. Looks like if I just hit level 100 by the way, if I just running around. But if I place a melon in here, it actually compacts into compacted melon. So if I put, there we go, a melon slice in there, it goes between the 3 forms. And so this will automatically turn any melons I grow. Does that keep its inventory? It does, nice. Into melon slices. Now I need some way to automatically turn melon slices into melon seeds because this needs a seed. What are my auto crafter options? Assume we can. Oh, can we make this? No, because I cannot insulate gold cables yet. We can. Oh, we make this guy night slime. Yes, we can. Oven, if I put iron ore, slime balls, and gravel, I think it has to be exactly purple slime. There we go. That gets us night slime. And then I want most of it in plate form, although I'll take a few ingots as well. So melt the rest of my iron, please. And both the gravel and the slime are chance components. So you never know exactly how many you're going to, exactly how much slime or gravel you're going to need. But hopefully, well, I guess that's all I get. The rest I get as iron. That's fine. I'll process some of it as iron. All right. So I need night slime plates, and that should let us make our crafter. So I think this auto crafter does not use energy, and we can choose the pattern. Yeah. So the pattern is just this. Oh, it might need energy. Clearly not doing the thing. All right, let's give it some energy. It definitely accepts energy, so when we give it... There we go. Yeah, so we can do any pattern. I believe it's actually quite fast as well, which is a little strange that it's like the low-tier crafter that all the other crafters are made out of, but whatever. All the machines over here are going to need energy anyway, so we're going to have to run an energy line over to here. All right, so I'm going to start with 2 garden cloches, I think. Seems reasonable. These need energy and water as well, so we're going to have to get some to it. They'll both output into a compacting drawer. I would like the drawer to face that way. Perfect. Putting it all together using item conduits for most of the item movement. We have our cloches growing our melons. They get turned into melon slices. Some of those get turned into seeds. The netherrack here is just to reduce the amount of buffer slots effectively. The melon seeds get sent into the... What machine is this? Squeezer. The slices get sent into the fermenter. They're all filtered on the insert. And then these produce their outputs on here and here. So these are 2 different fluids. They don't connect to each other because these are pressurized conduits. Next step is to run them through a refinery, but that requires heavy engineering blocks, which requires apparently a little bit of lag. So here we go. Heavy engineering blocks is probably coming up relatively soon. Oh, is it not? Heavy engineering needs thaumium, so thaumium, that's not bad. I can make that. Cobalt, steel, and obsidian. We can make this. Where's the quest for it then? Um, it'd be, it's got to be in this tab, right? Here it is. Why does it? Oh, it requires a tier 2 blood orb at the least. I see. There's actually quite a few steps between us and the heavy engineering block right now. Not only do we need a tier 2 blood altar, we need to do the Britannia runic altar, and I guess that's all that's strictly required. But let's set up another astral sorcery ritual here near the blood altar. This will be the one to give us creative flight. So if I put that there, this gives us creative flight in a 24 block radius, again, regardless of the quality of the, whatchamacallit, the crystal in there. So it should give us creative flight out to around here-ish. It should drop me, I expect it will drop me soon. This is way more than 24 blocks. There we go. Maybe that was pretty close to 24 blocks, plus a little bit of fall off. But that means that I can now fly up to the altar because I can't actually walk up to it otherwise. So once again, once we get access to collector crystals, we can increase this range by a lot. It is here, astral sorcery, ritual effects. This is the Visio ritual. So 24 blocks is a default, 16, and we can get times 5. Because you get up to 5 lenses reflecting, so 5 times 16 is what, 50 plus 30, 80, so 104 block creative flight radius around the ritual altar. That's pretty good. But anyways, I think that's all we can sneak in for today, so we'll be back next time, continue our magical journey through more blood magic stuff and Britannia magic, flower magic, with the ultimate goal of getting ourselves an arc furnace. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.